So let's have a look at this weather strip and see how it came out. This is the passenger side one that was hanging down from about here to here, and it actually adhered pretty well through this section here with I just used 100% silicone, and it worked pretty well. I had a spot right down here that was still kind of loose, so I put some more silicone on there. I just didn't get enough in there the first time. And then a section right up here on this corner was pulling away, so I gooped quite a bit in there, and we'll see if I got enough in there this time. But it looks like that silicone's going to work. The driver's side section I had to redo a piece because it just didn't adhere well. I didn't get enough silicone in it to start with, but it looks like that's going to resolve the issue, and for the most part it's held on there pretty good. So I worked on the van, working on building that box and the flooring in the back for about half the day yesterday, and I'll show you what I've got going on so far. Got that piece of 1/2-inch plywood, of course, for the floor, and I bought a half a sheet, so it was 4 foot by 4 foot. I had to cut off 3 inches on the length, so 48. This is about 45 inches from the back of the seats to the back of the back end here. And this is just enough where I have about a 1/2-inch gap when the door is closed between the piece of plywood and the back door. The doors bow out a little bit, so the gap gets wider. It's probably closer to 1 inch in the center, and then about a 1/2 inch on the ends. But that'll work fine. That way the door can operate properly, whether it's opened or closed, and the same thing worked out the same for this side. And then I built 3 panels using the method that I used on my other van build, only I changed it up a little bit. This time I used 1.5 by 1 inch furring strips instead of the 2 by 2, because I just don't think I need the extra weight, and I don't need the strength. When you glue these, I glued them and screwed them to the panel there. When you glue those, it just makes that thing so strong and rigid, and all the weight's going to be down on the top of it, so it's going to be plenty strong enough. And then a piece across the front, and then I drew a center line on this bottom board. This between the wheel wells is 4 feet exactly, so I'm going to divide that in half for the single bed piece that's going to go on this side. I glued those together and screwed them together in the corner, and then this is the center piece, and it's going to do the same thing. It'll be glued up there. That's what I got to start with next. The height is 20 3/4 of an inch from that bottom board to the top board here. 20 3/4 of an inch. So that's going to give me a pretty good storage section here for totes or my refrigerator or whatever I end up putting in there, and that's going to be accessible from the top, so the bed will be able to lift up, and then I can get up underneath here and get into that, or from the back with the door open. This section was going to be left open for now because I'm just doing the single bed on the one side. But you can see all these little black marks. I had to grind off the tips of the screws. Anyway, that's where I'm at, so I'm going to get to work on this and work on this all day today. Try to get this box finished. I have the Dometic CF50, which is the bigger compressor fridge. I want to see if I can run it efficiently, or if one 100 amp hour battery is going to be enough battery power to sustain the thing like through the night. I'm really trying to avoid going through all of the work to mount panels up on the roof. When I'm driving, I can charge the battery off of the alternator. When I'm camping, I can just set my solar panel outside and run the cords. Most likely I'll have the doors open on the van for the majority of the time when I'm camping. And then that way I'll just store that panel inside and put it out. I don't know if the 130 amp panel is going to be enough to do it, but I'm going to do some tests and see, and then I'm going to try to put that on video too, so you guys can see how that works out for yourself. So I hope you all have a good day, and we'll see you on the next one.